Hi, welcome to Teaspoons of Flavor, and today we're going to be making my onion and carrot chicken. And so, the ingredients you're going to be needing is 4 chicken thighs, some olive oil, you're going to need thyme and rosemary, you're going to need an onion, some carrots, some sea salt, a couple cloves of garlic, and 1 lime. And so, the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to have a cast iron or any type of skillet in the background heating to really high heat. I would say about like an 8, because the first thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be searing the chicken, and then once the chicken is seared, we're going to be adding in the onion to cook. And so, now, what I want to do is get the chicken in one bowl all together. You're going to want to oil it very liberally. Should be good for now. I would say probably 4 pinches of salt. 1 pinch of salt for each thigh that you have in there. That looks good. Then cut your lime in half. Squeeze some of the juice that's in there. If you want it really limey, then I would suggest using the other half of the lime, but I'm just going to use one just for now. And you really want to go to mix it in there. Okay, and so you're going to want to wait until your cast iron is smoking. I'm going to add a little bit of oil over here. You really want to make sure that the cast iron is well lubricated because it's going to be very hot. So as you can see, the cast iron is smoking, and so we're going to be adding in the thighs. Woo, be careful. Make sure you shake out some of the juice. And so we'll be back in a couple of minutes checking on the searing on the thighs. Alrighty, so I went ahead and flipped them, and it was about after 2-3 minutes, and this is what the searing should look like. And we'll be right back with the chicken. I'm going to be showing you how to cut the onion. And so I went ahead and already cut this onion in half, and I kept this little part just so it can keep the onion together while we're cutting it. And so if you can see closely, there's these little lines that go across the onion, and we're going to be following those lines so that it becomes strands. And you're going to want to cut these fairly thinly. I'm going to cut this now that we don't need it anymore. Alrighty. I'm going to cut these parts a little bit smaller since they're more towards the center. Alrighty, so your onion still looks fairly stringy just like that. Alrighty, so the chicken's been going for, I would say, about 3 to 4 minutes on this side. And so now we're going to be checking on them. Looks good. So we're going to be taking them off the heat. Again, remember, you're going to just want to sear them right now, and we're going to cook them later in the oven. We fully cook them anyways. Alrighty. So we're going to set these to the side, and you're going to want to turn down your heat to, I would say, about low-medium, and we are going to want to get all of those onions that you cut. I'm going to transfer them onto the cast iron. Alrighty. Now you're going to give them a good toss. Give them a little bit more. And then you're going to want to get a lid and cover them just so that we can see a little bit. Gonna add just a little pinch of salt, just to let the water excrete from the onions. Press it around a little bit and let them caramelize. Alrighty. So now for another step in the chicken recipe is we're gonna be smashing the garlic, and I don't like to cut it per se, just so we can get some of the essence from there. Because what we're going to be doing is we're going to be infusing some of the garlic, some of the olive oil, sorry, with garlic flavor and with these spices, rosemary and thyme, as well as some of the lime. To do that is we're going to grate a little bit of the skin from the lime. You don't really want to get too far down into the actual fruit. You just kind of want the rind of it. Now this of course is an optional step, but I feel it really amplifies the flavor of the dish. Alrighty, just a little bit. And that onto there. And so right here, I have a pan that is on cold, or it's cold, it hasn't been heated up yet. And so then we're gonna be turning it to a medium. We're gonna be adding in some olive oil. A few good gloves there, really wanna make sure the pan is lubricated. We're gonna be adding in the lime and the garlic. Right there. And you're gonna be wanting in the rosemary. Some thyme. We'll give it a good mix. Alrighty, so now we're going to be cutting the carrots, and I have about 5 small ones. This would probably be the equivalent of about 2 to 3 large carrots, and we're going to be cutting them in about 1/2 inch to 1 inch in size, so about this. And these are going to be cooking whenever we eventually put the chicken into the oven. So as you can see, we have this oil just simmering a little bit, slightly bubbling. The garlic is frying, the herbs are frying, really infusing that oil with the essence of those flavors. And now these onions have been caramelizing just for, I would say, maybe 8 minutes so far. And they're starting to become soft. They've certainly released a lot of their liquid, and that is what we want so that we can really get that sweetness from the onion. But it needs to go for a little while longer, so we'll check back on it in just a little bit. Alrighty, so I would say the onions have been caramelizing for around 15 minutes. You're gonna wanna have them look kind of brown and very soft, but you don't want all of the juices to evaporate since they're still gonna be needing to go into the oven. So I'm gonna turn off heat right here. I've had this oven preheating to 350 degrees Fahrenheit right here. And so now what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be adding in this garlic, rosemary, thyme thing. Got these fried garlic, very nice. So I'm gonna be adding it in to the onion mixture. And make sure you get everything right there. So then, I wanna mix that around. Now the flavors together, let them get to know each other. Then you're gonna wanna put the chicken on top of this onion mixture. And what the chicken is gonna do is it's gonna kind of protect the onion from burning because it's gonna be releasing a lot of the juices that are still inside of it. Gonna add some of the juices that are still in there. Just the middle anymore, really. Then I'm gonna be adding in the carrots that you have chopped over here. And you probably just want enough just to make sure that there's enough for the entire one. Some salt on top since the carrots do not have any. Leave it right there into the oven. And a good way to make sure that the entire meal is done is one, to first make sure that the chicken is well cooked, but the carrots are also a very good indicator. And so we shall be back in a little bit once the meal is ready. So the chicken has been cooking for 35 to 40 minutes right now in the oven. And so it should be done now. Look at that. And so I'm gonna test the carrots and the chicken. Alrighty, the carrots are fairly easy to slice into. And I'm gonna cut into just one of the bigger pieces of chicken just to make sure that they are cooked. And a good way to make sure that they're cooked is no red juices are flowing from the bone. And the bone is always the thickest part of the meat. And it seems as though the meal is done. And so this is my onion and carrot chicken. And if you enjoy it, please drop a like and subscribe to the channel. I hope you enjoy.